Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. Joining me for today's show is Mike.
Hey.
Right, so in case you didn't watch our show yesterday, I highly recommend you watch it because Mr. Mike here has a few words for some of the comments that were made towards him, and that's exactly what we're going to do today too. Answer all your questions and comments that you've had for us on Facebook, YouTube on all our shows, and Thaiger Talk forum, which is on our website, thethaiger.com. Now, let's get right into it.
Cool.
My first comment here is from Phil, and Phil says, "You two are the most boring commentators I have ever watched on YouTube." Can we be considered as commentators? I mean, we're not watching a live event, nor is there sport going on or any event.
I think you need to be watching maybe Jake Paul versus,
Tyron Woodley. I think you're on the wrong show. I think he might have two browsers open and he just typed his comment in the wrong video.
I mean, we could dance next time for you if you would like.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about Thailand and COVID in the pandemic. I mean, how exciting do you want this to be? I mean, it's not that exciting, is it? Oh, today. Yeah.
Phil, sometimes the news is the news. It cannot always be entertaining. However, thank you for the comment.
Cool. All right, so Dubai Farang, I actually like that name. He said, I did the Sandbox and I wanted to leave after 2 weeks. It was not possible, but then the bars closed, but very few tourists and empty beaches. Okay, I get that. He then went on to say, but people really appreciated us visiting Phuket. They eventually stayed a month, and overall he had an excellent holiday, very relaxing, and stayed in some really great hotels, and it was nice to be back in Thailand. And I think, Dubai Farang, you are the definition of what the Sandbox is trying to achieve. I think right now, my parents just left yesterday, and right now, the hospitality shown amongst the Thai people, welcoming back the very few tourists that are coming, is exceptional. The beaches are amazing right now. It's very quiet, which means you've got freedom on the roads. So there's some really great things to achieve from Thailand during these quiet periods. So well done, Dubai Farang. I really like that comment.
Right, now directly to that comment you just said, I have a comment here from John who says, why would anyone stay in a country where they are not really wanted except for their money? Thailand was heading downhill well before the pandemic struck. I feel like we have a lot of commenters who put these comments. I don't even know if they've been to Thailand before, or maybe they have once in the last 20 years. But John, if you're going to a country for a holiday and you're going to a tourist destination and want a service, why would those people not want your money? Or even if you're living as an expat, if you want a service, or if you want something to get done, everything costs money. So I don't really know if your statement really makes sense. If you're trying to imply that everyone in Thailand just wants your money, I think you are highly mistaken, and perhaps you've just had a bad experience.
Well, I think as well, a lot of these people working in the tourist markets, I think, John, when you're working, do you want to get paid, or do you just want to work? And I think that apply this to these people, right? They're working in hotels, they're working in massages, they're working on bars. They want to get paid. They've all moved to these tourist areas to get work and be paid by jobs. So, we're not too sure. I hear a lot of this, and it's there's like a distaste in foreigners' mouth. You come to Thailand, they just take your money. I mean, you need to give us more examples about why this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, so we can give you some context. If you're walking into a restaurant and they take your money, that's because you probably are eating their food. So I'll be like, where are you at here? So give us some more context so we can make these replies a bit more useful. But okay, cool. Charles McCaffrey. If any good came from the whole global mess, is that to preemptively disregard the opinions of people like Michael after hearing their ideas on it. So I think, Charles, listen, if the only good thing that has come from the whole pandemic is to disregard people's opinions, I think you might have misunderstood some of the benefits of what this pandemic, is achieving. I think, there is a lot of global unity going on. There is crazy innovation in relation to medical science and, and other industries, which is all innovating, people coming together all over the world to help people. We just did a charity raise that raised $60,000 for charities in Thailand to help the poor people. I think there is much more to be seen on good side than disregarding people's opinions. So, Charles, I disagree with you. Let's see if you can come back with something a bit more better that come out of the pandemic rather than disregarding my opinion.
Right. I have a comment here from Steve, and Steve says, Does Mike really think people in Phuket are happy with the Sandbox? Steve, if you're talking about the people in Phuket, as in locals or expats who are living here, I can give you a personal example. As a person in Phuket, I'm very happy with the Sandbox. The Sandbox brings tourists to my city, to my country. It brings business. It allows businesses to open up. It provides jobs. Why would I not want the Sandbox to work? It's a great thing and it's a great start. Is it perfect? Probably not. Can it be improved? Definitely. However, the Sandbox has been great. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we know there's the faults of the Sandbox. It is slightly expensive with the testing. In relation to my parents just went to Dubai, they turned up, they got a free test. I mean, Thailand should implement this as opposed to charging people through the teeth for this. But in terms of are the Thai people wanting the Sandbox? Of course they want the Sandbox. I mean, they don't have jobs, they want to eat. Do you think they'll be like, no, do you know what? Boo-hoo, let's just starve on the streets and die. I mean, everyone in Thailand would like the Sandbox to work so they can open up the country and get people back into jobs. And I think you would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Come back to us on that one. Cool. Robin Hazel has said, Digital Nomads, ? You're joking, right? With the new visa rules, a foreigner without a work permit can stay only in Thailand for 6 months or 1 year. That does not make someone an expat. So, Robin, to answer this one, I mean, there are lots of visa programs that exist in Thailand specifically aimed at the digital nomad community. One of them that's been around for a long time is the Thailand Elite Visa. Yes, it is expensive, but yes, lots of very successful digital nomads adopt this visa, can stay in the country for long periods of time and do their business, right? And it provides them the ability to sit by the beach and work. If it's Phuket, or go to Bangkok and live in a very metropolitan district and really enjoy the liveliness of that country, or go up north to maybe Isan and be in more of a farm rural area, but really enjoy it. So digital nomads are here in their droves. I think it's like one of the biggest destinations for digital nomads now, and the Thailand is about to release a digital nomad visa. They've already started moving forward with these already. They have certain smart visas which you can come in. Technically, I have a digital nomad visa, but under a different type of structure called a BOI. So there are loads of digital nomads here, and they have been here for years, and they will continue to stay here for years, while Thailand is such a great place to work if you are a digital nomad. I think, do you have any opinion on that?
Not so much, no.
Okay, all right, okay. Just my perspective on it. So, cool, over to you, Joe.
Right, I have a comment here from Lady Annie who says, "Hi, you guys have way too much eyeshadow and glitter. Sorry. Oh, and I must say, love you guys. You're really refreshing." Thank you, Lady Annie. I can confirm that neither me or Mike are wearing any eyeshadow or glitter, nor that we ever have. To simply put it, we don't have a makeup team here, or we don't put any makeup for our channels. Do you, Mike?
Well, if we could afford it, we would. But unfortunately, no one pays for our channel. Yeah. So this is definitely a free service. So subscribe, and we might be able to afford some.
Yes, please.
Is she a subscriber? We'll find out.
I'm not. Yeah, we will find out later. Okay. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel.
Please, we beg you. Okay, John Joyce. So Mike is just offering opinions. It would be a drinking game with him. I believe. That's all he says, nothing from fact. Tim, you need new friends. Mike and Bill are terrible guests. Now, John, this is a talk show. So do I not give any opinion? Do I just say, yes, that fact is correct? Not, oh, I agree with that fact. Or I believe that if you change this, I mean, how can you have a conversation if you can't use the words I think and I believe? I mean, John, have you had conversations with your friends? Do you just talk in statistics or something? And, I'm actually good friends with Bill, and Bill's a great guy, and I think you need friends like me and Bill. And then we'd have great conversations. But next time, John, we'll definitely go. We can have a cup of tea on my balcony, and we can talk about I think, I believe, or I have never, whatever you want to choose, and we can play a game. So, John, open up a little bit. Cool.
Right. Going to my last comment here from Timothy Mitchell, who says, Hawaiian shirt guy, I think he's talking about me yesterday. Hawaiian shirt guy said private businesses are allowed to make up their own minds about whether to enforce vaccine passports or not. The problem is that it isn't really a choice when the alternative is not being allowed to open your business. So it comes down to this, poverty or new normal, which really isn't a choice. Poverty or new normal? Well, yeah, Timothy, sorry, you are correct. There isn't much of a choice. I was just trying to make the point that as a private business, if they are concerned about their safety and they have families back home and they don't want to allow unvaccinated people into their restaurants, it's their right. It's a private business. And just as it is anyone else's right to go in or not go into the restaurant, everybody has the right to choose and the freedom to make their own opinions. Would I go as extreme to say as poverty or new normal? Perhaps not, but it's close enough. I understand. The businesses can either choose to open up and deal with it in this new normal, or yeah, they're right, close down and possibly go towards poverty. So a good point here. Thank you for your comment, Tim.
Cool. So Alan H, Mike's spiel about Thailand no longer being affordable for Western retirees is a load of crap. And someone else follows this on. I think Philip, who might live in Thailand because there's a Thai word after his name, says, Mick, I take that's me, you're talking rubbish about pensions. Someone in the UK getting a state pension is far better off than in the UK. Now, this is going back to addressing, how expensive it is or isn't to live in Thailand. Now, let's just look at state pensions. I'm going to take the UK, for example, because I know roughly what it is. It's under £200 a week. I think £200 is about 8 to 9,000 baht currently in the exchange rate. So 8,000 baht a week, so that's 30-odd thousand baht a month. Okay. I mean, I know how expensive Phuket is, and I also have offices in Bangkok, so I know how expensive Bangkok is. It's not cheap. So yes, you can live in rural Thailand. You can get a very cheap house or a condo and live there. Mm-hmm. But if you want to experience, kind of a nice lifestyle, depending on what you determine, it's not enough money, in my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. You can get a little shack in Phuket for maybe 10,000 baht a month. That's a third of your state pension already gone. And then you have 20,000 baht, which is equivalent to £300-400 to eat and then do activities. I mean, it's not enough. It's not the good old days here. Maybe if you go up north to the rural provinces, which is not really where I want to be living, you could do this. But I think in the main tourist destinations where lots of expats resided initially, the state pension of what was provided is now no longer sufficient to have a good lifestyle. The dream was, come to Thailand, it's cheap, you can live there. Yeah. This is no longer the realities of what Thailand is.
Yeah, it might be for you, but you have to understand and also agree that the living costs in Thailand in different parts of the country has increased. So it really just depends what kind of lifestyle you want and where you want to live.
So just to go, so I've got some more comments.
Sure.
We might as well hit them out while we're still on the show.
Go ahead.
So Steve's Thailand Adventures. So I'm guessing Steve lives in Thailand and runs adventures, I'm guessing. I think Jay's confidence has increased dramatically. Well done, Jay. Over the last months, and now seems very comfortable being the anchor of the new show. I think largely to Tim's mentorship, and we agree, definitely. Tim is a great mentor for the show. Well done, Jay.
Thank you.
I do have to say that Mike really rubs me up the wrong way, and don't think he adds anything to the quality of the news. I do hope Tim will find some more suitable. Now, Steve, I don't really know how you really want me to rub you up in relation, whether there's a wrong way or right way to rub you up. Give me some suggestions in relation to how it sounds a bit dirty, getting rubbed up, but I appreciate the comment, Steve. And I hope Thailand Adventures becomes very successful and tourism comes back, and we're all with you for that. So send us a link to your website and hopefully we can plug your show or your website, wherever it is. Okay. Grimbo Macy, I'm guessing. I have a friend who has a wife and 2 daughters living in Maasai. I think that's a place in Thailand. I'm not too sure. He's currently in Victoria, Australia, and has both of his vaccines. How can he get back with his family? So I reply back to him saying, Phuket Sandbox. And then he's come back to me saying, what a load of rubbish. Phuket Sandbox is a box. And, this is the way you can come back at the moment to Thailand. You have to come into the Phuket Sandbox to get within Thailand currently. Mm-hmm. This could change, right?
Yeah.
But right now, the only way you can come back is in the Sandbox. So I'm giving you the only solution to come back within the country.
Well, the best way to come back to Thailand would be through the Sandbox.
You can go into Bangkok and do ASQ,
yes.
But who would want to go to a prison right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the only feasible way to come back in. So I think there's only that one. Salvatore Alfonso says, can my girlfriend fly from the Philippines directly to Hawaiian? I mean, Salvatore, did you watch the whole show and about the whole concept of the Sandbox in Phuket to then get to Hawaiian? No, you can't directly fly. Just go back and watch the show, and you'll get the answers to that one. Lawrence Westfall, Bangkok is not a province.
Why not?
Well, just Lawrence, I think you can give us some more explanation on that. Okay. I think Bangkok is a special administrative area, which is also a province. So hopefully you're right and I'm wrong, and you can come back and tell us why.
Right, fair enough. If you do have any comments from our show today or any other show, you can leave them in the comment section below. You can message us on YouTube, on Facebook, and the Thaiger Talk forum on our website. That's all we have for today. Hope you have a great Wednesday, and see you tomorrow.